Hi guys, welcome back to Craft Your Future Today, where we are all about taking action that will change your life. So today I'm going to talk about how to ensure you live within your means each month. Alright, so we usually have a certain amount of income each month. What I'm going to talk about is how to ensure you live within that income. Stick around for this, it will be very interesting. Before we do that, I'd like you to like this, share it with your friends, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in a bit. All right, so we'd all like to know, how do I live within my means each month? Each one of us have different situations. Each one of us have different amounts of income that come in each month. But most of us have one source of income. At least a majority of us have one source of income. So how do you ensure you live within this one main source of income and you don't spend way over that amount? So I'm going to be giving you some 4 tips just to help you start off with this. So tip number 1, make sure you have an end month routine for your money. When the income comes in at the end of the month, you need to have an end month routine. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about have a budget for how you're going to spend that money. You need to set clear things that on your list in your budget that you're going to spend that money on. And this will also ensure that you're also planning to stay within that budget. All right. Some of the things that you need to have in that budget are, for example, what are your monthly expenses? You need to know roughly how much that costs and list them down. What are they? Then you need to also have a section on debt. Do you have any debt that you're servicing each month? You need to have a section on that. Then you need to have also a line item for savings and investments. You need to ensure that this amount of money that you put here will be used towards your future goals, financial goals that you've set for yourself. And also, don't forget to have a line item on your entertainment, because at the end of the day, you need to also take care of yourself. Mental health is a key thing that we also need to look out for. So also your own entertainment should be there in that budget. So this is one way to ensure that you're covering every aspect of your life within your income that is coming in. All right. So having that end month routine budget each month may be unique. So you need to be revising it each month as your circumstances change. Okay. So tip number 2, how to survive. You need to be very deliberate with savings or paying yourself. All right. You need to be very deliberate by putting aside a certain percentage each month that you plan on saving and investing to achieve your financial goals. You cannot just hope to have some balance at the end of the month that you save. Many of us usually fall into this trap. You say, I have my income, I'll pay all my bills, and when I'm done, whatever remains, I will save. The funny thing with human beings, we will never miss what to spend money on. So what happens most of the time? We end up spending everything and end up saving nothing. So to avoid getting into this, you need to be very deliberate and save first. So put a certain percent. Is it 5%? You can start with maybe 5%, 6%, even 10%, but so long as you can do it comfortably and consistently. So do that every time and you'll be ensuring that every month you have some savings put aside that is going to be invested and working towards achieving your financial goals. All right, so now you have some savings aside, you've put aside. Now, the other thing that you need to do is, now that you're going to spend your money, you need to avoid impulse buying. Now, impulse buying is something that really eats up any small amount of money that we have. It's usually the small things that we spend money on that really eat up our money. It's never the big bills. It's a small thing that we spend on here that we have not planned on, here and there that we have not planned on, that really eats up our money. For example, how many of you go for shopping with a shopping list? All right. Do you stick to your shopping list? Do you even have a shopping list? Do you even have a budget for that shopping? So you may go into a supermarket, you may go to the mall or something, and you end up spending way more than you had planned for. This kind of impulse buying is what really ruins our budgets and we end up not having any money at the end of the month because we've bought more things than we can handle. All right, so avoid this impulse buying. Be very strict about it. All right, now the last thing that you also need to do, you need to avoid bad debts. You need to avoid lending out money to people who will not refund you, or you need to avoid getting into debts for consumption. All right, you need to avoid getting loans to buy things that are not going to bring in any returns. They're not any investments that you're going to put the money in. It's simply money for you to spend on something else. For example, some people get loans to buy, for example, phones. It's not a bad thing to buy phones, but are you just buying a phone just to show off? Buying a very expensive phone? Are you buying it with debt? Because if you're buying that phone with debt, it means you can't afford it. All right, so and it's not an emergency, so why do you need to buy with debt? If you want to buy the phone, then plan for it. Save small amounts each month towards it, and then you can procure the phone that you like, and you'll be happier without any more debt. With debt, of course, comes interest payments that again will be eating into these little resources that you have. So I hope you remember the 4 items. You have your end month routine. You have your savings that you'll be doing every month, a specific percentage. Then you're avoiding impulse buying, being very, very deliberate about it. And then lastly, avoiding taking on bad debt that you don't need. Plan for everything that you like to do and do it within your means. I hope I've helped somebody this month to have some money at the end of the month. Do this and definitely you will not regret it. I hope you liked the episode. Please like, subscribe, share it amongst your friends, and I'll see you in the next episode.